Keep hearing about this AI race between the United States and China. It's like as if the United States and China are on the same track, headed for the same finish line, and the rest of the world is just standing by the side waving little digital flags. This picture is wrong, and am quite convinced that they are not running the same race. This is also what a recent essay that I read points at. What it suggests is that both these nations are optimizing for very different outcomes. The United States, broadly speaking, is pursuing frontier capability, which means bigger models, more capital, more computational ability, and more power. Whereas China, under tighter restraints, is pursuing efficiency, faster deployment, and use cases that make money sooner. See the differentiation? I had to slow down so that you get the idea. So, this is a very interesting idea because what it reminds us is that technology does not evolve in a vacuum. It evolves inside cultures. It evolves inside markets, systems of capital, country, jurisdiction, inside very human assumption about what success looks like. And those assumptions matter. The essay that I read, it notes that in 2024, US AI startups received about $1.9 billion in private investment, compared with roughly $9 billion for Chinese AI startups. Now that is not a small difference, a difference of 100 billion. That is not two children arguing over the last biscuit. That is a radically different economic environment. When the capital is abundant, you behave in a certain manner. You build for the frontier, you buy time, you chase scale, you push the outer edge of capability. But when the capital is tighter, you behave differently. You become more pragmatic, more disciplined. Your focus on what works, what pays, and what can be deployed now. Constraint, in other words, is not always the enemy of innovations. Sometimes it is the author of it. And that is one of the most important ideas that we need to understand over here. In the US, many AI products are sold through subscriptions. $20 a month here, $10 a month there. And people justify the cost because the tools save time. Whereas in China, by contrast, the expectation for consumer AI is often that access has to be free, with companies monetizing elsewhere through APIs, cloud services, advertising, or ecosystem integration. The price anchor is not $5 or $7 as compared to the 10 or 20 in the US. The price anchor for China is zero. Now that changes everything, because once your product is expected to be free, you cannot simply sell intelligence as a monthly utility. You have to embed it into workflows, platforms, logistics, entertainment, enterprise systems, into the actual machinery of everyday life. And that may be why China is seeing faster industrial adoption in some areas. The article cites that a figure that 67% of Chinese industrial firms have deployed AI in production, compared with 34% of analogous US firms. In other words, while one ecosystem is still perfecting the engine, the other may be getting more vehicles on the road. And this is where the conversations become really interesting, because what it suggests is that there is more than one way to win in AI. If winning means building more capable models, then yes, the United States appears to retain the edge. Chinese models trail by about 7 months on frontier capability. But if winning means widespread economic deployment, which means getting AI into factories, logistics, service, products as fast and at speed, then China may be ahead in some layers of the race. So perhaps the real mistake is the metaphor itself. Perhaps this is not one race. Perhaps it is two different contests shaped by two different questions. In one, the question is, how far can the technology go? In the other, the question is, how quickly can the technology become useful? And those are not the same questions. One rewards abundance, the other rewards adaptation. The one is obsessed with possibility, the other is obsessed with practicality. And history suggests that societies need both. After all, invention matters, but so does deployment. A brilliant technology that never leaves the demo is a bit like this grand piano in a sealed room. Magnificent, perhaps, but no music. So the lesson here is larger than AI. It is that innovation is never only about intelligence. It is also about incentives, distribution, pricing, institutions, about the strange and powerful ways that constraint can sharpen imagination. And maybe that is what we should be watching now, not simply who has the smartest model, but who is building the conditions in which intelligence becomes ordinary, useful, and woven into our daily life. Because in the end, the future may not belong only to those who invent the most astonishing tools. It may very well belong to those who learn how to make them matter. This is why we need to follow this AI race with proper wisdom and understanding.